Welcome to Health and Self. My name is Ashley Thayer, and today is National Smoothie Day. So with that, I have my smoothie drinker in the family, the tallest of the Thayer girls, number 2 in the lineup, Mia Thayer with me. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the show. So I'm really excited you're here today because you're the tallest, but we're going to make a smoothie called Green Machine. Do you know why we're going to make that?
Because there's spinach in it?
Because it has spinach in it, right? And it's good since you are so tall, like the Jolly Green Giant. You have on a green shirt, you're tall, it's perfect. I'm kidding. But it's okay because this smoothie is going to be packed with vitamins and nutrients and vitamin A, vitamin C, all of those great things for a growing teenager like her. Gosh, I really hope you don't get any taller because you are officially taller than me. But in addition to our Green Machine smoothie, we are actually going to make one of Mia's favorites, and it's really a Thayer family favorite. It's a quick weeknight mac and cheese, but it's called chicken and broccoli mac and cheese. Let me show you what ingredients you will need for your chicken and broccoli mac and cheese. Of course, you will need some elbow macaroni. You can sub in whole wheat noodles if you'd like, but we're just using what my store had on sale. You'll need a couple of tablespoons, about 4 tablespoons of whole wheat flour, 4 teaspoons of butter, about 1.5 cups of oat milk. Again, by using and swapping out some of our ingredients, it creates a healthier version of mac and cheese. About 2.5 cups of cheddar cheese. I've already pre-shredded this. I like to buy it in the block as opposed to buying it in the bags pre-shredded because it just doesn't have any additives. And then this is how you make this weeknight. A store-bought rotisserie chicken. I've pulled the meat off the bones, and then we're going to add that as well as broccoli. That's giving you the protein. It's giving you the vegetables that you need in mac and cheese. Yep. And you like this because it's good for athletes, it's good for busy kids, it's good for busy families because essentially, I say it's a one-pot dish. I mean, you are making this essentially in 2 pots because you do need to boil the pasta separately. But, so let's get started on the mac and cheese, and then we'll make smoothies. How does that sound as our pasta's cooking?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I have a pot of water. It's a double boiler, but the cool thing about my double boiler is it has an additional little basket that sits right up over top of the water. So while we're waiting for our water to come up to a full boil, I'm actually going to steam my broccoli. So this is how kind of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Don't look at me like that. So we're going to start steaming our broccoli while we wait for the water to come up to a full boil. All right, Mia. Now, do you know what it takes to make a mac and cheese?
Cheese.
Cheese. Yes. Thanks, Captain Obvious. It does. It takes cheese. But it also takes what's called a roux. That's what helps the cheese to create the sauce that sticks to the noodles. Did you know that?
No.
Do you know how to make a roux?
No.
I'm going to show you. All right, so we have an empty pot here. We're going to turn this one on. Let me figure out which burner is which. This one's this one. There we go. On. On. There we go. Okay. So we have this on high, just to kind of heat it up really quickly. You will need your butter.
Do I just like pour it in?
Yep, just drop it right in. Good job. And then you can put that back in the sink. And we're gonna let the butter start to melt. And then you will need a whisk because we're going to whisk in the whole wheat flour. So as the pot starts to heat up, the butter will start to melt. When you start seeing the butter turn to liquid, I want you to add this.
All of it?
Yes.
Okay.
All of it.
I just gotta double check.
It's essentially a 1 tablespoon to 1 teaspoon ratio. A traditional roux is a 1-to-1 ratio, so you do 1 tablespoon of butter to 1 tablespoon of flour. But because this is Health and Self, we have to make it a little healthy. Why is that funny to you? Giggle box. All right, so our butter is starting to melt. You see how it's starting to move over to the side?
Yeah.
All right, it is starting to melt. Let it melt a little bit more before you dump your flour in.
Okay.
All right. The other thing is traditionally the recipe calls for about half of this. This is about a 16-ounce box of macaroni noodles, but we're going to use the whole box because let's be real, there are 6 people in this family and they all enjoy this dish. Yep. So we're going to make a lot of it. Are you watching your butter?
No.
Or are you just watching me talk?
Watching you talk. Should I add the flour in
Yep,
there?
go ahead and start to add your flour. Now, while you are adding your flour, go ahead. Yep, and you can drop that back in the sink. I'm also going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked kosher salt. You gotta start whisking, bud. You don't want your flour to start to burn. Yep. And then I'm also gonna add about 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper. This is what's gonna give it the flavor. Keep going.
Smells good.
You can smell it already?
Yeah.
Good. Now, if you wanted to make this truly like a vegan dish or a vegetarian dish, if you were making this vegan, I am using oat milk, but you'd sub out your butter. You would use something that's not animal-based, like an oil instead. Also, you would use more of a rice cheese instead of just regular sharp cheddar cheese. So do you see how now you've got this into clumps? So it's starting to turn, which is good. No, oops. That's the butter and the flour starting to combine. So you can kind of see on the inside, which is good, which is what we want. Now, we're going to start to add in your oat milk. I want you to keep stirring. And I'm going to slowly add in your oat milk. And I'm going to lower your heat down. Good. Keep stirring. And now you want to break up your clumps of flour. You can whisk a little harder. When you have a nonstick pan, it's okay to use a metal whisk. If this was kind of like one of the enamel covered pans, or like the coated ones, then you want to use a coated whisk so you don't scrape up your pans. Keep going. You want to break up all of those little clumps. Just keep whisking.
All right.
Use those muscles. You're an athlete.
Damn.
So the beauty is, Mia, I don't know if everybody in Health and Stuff knows. So you've officially graduated 8th grade.
Yeah.
Big deal. You're moving on to high school this fall.
Nerve-wracking.
Is it nerve-wracking?
Yeah.
Going to high school, it makes you nervous?
Well, because I've been at the same school for 11 years, and then now I'm just going to like a different school.
That is true. That is accurate. But it's good. It's a good time to move up. You'll be going to school with your oldest sister, which will be nice. And kind of, getting into that. Now you're in summer swim. That's why this is the perfect dish, because it's an easy summer meal. Good job.
Good.
Yep, let me help you just a little bit more, because what we want to do is, as this starts to incorporate more, the flour, the oat milk, and the butter, what happens is it starts to thicken up. That's where we start to get the roux.
Oh.
Yes, and then when we get to that thicker point, guess what we can start to add?
The cheese?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So you can kind of see, yep. So it's still a little liquidy. That's the other thing about using a plant-based milk instead of cow's milk, is it takes a little bit longer to thicken up. So you can start to add a little bit of cheese at a time. Don't add it all. Yep. And I hear our water boiling, which means our broccoli will be almost done steaming. Okay. Now we're going to just stir this and let the cheese start to melt. Up your power just a little bit more. Mia loves cheese, hands down. Like, you like grilled cheese, you like mac and cheese.
But the one thing I don't like is cheese on my pizza.
You're right. That is so bizarre. How do you not like cheese on your pizza?
It's not, I don't know.
But you like mozzarella cheese.
No.
You don't?
I don't eat it whenever you put it in like other dishes. Like
So
those
is it the
little-
cheese you think that you don't like, or?
Well, I'll gladly eat grilled cheese. So like, I don't know.
But I put mozzarella cheese on your grilled cheese before and you've eaten it. I put mozzarella cheese in here and you've eaten it. You just don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know.
All right, so we add a little bit more cheese. Now, whenever I make mac and cheese for holidays, you do the traditional baked mac and cheese in a casserole dish, you still start with these same principles of a butter and flour roux, your milk or plant-based milk, And then you slowly start to add your cheese. So still kind of the same principles.
Should I add the rest?
Yep, go ahead and add the rest because it's slowly melting. There we go. Good. And then you can put that in the sink. Are you collecting dishes over there on your side?
No.
Yeah. All right, so you can kind of see it's really starting to turn into our cheese sauce as the cheese is melting, which is really cool. I'm gonna make sure there's no clumps. So you keep whisking. I'm gonna trade spots with you. Come over here and check on our broccoli. Oh yeah, so when your broccoli starts to turn like bright green, that's when you know it is steaming. Let's see if I can lift this up without burning myself. And you can see it's starting to cook. So it's nice and bright green. Awesome. I'm gonna let it steam just for a tiny bit more, but actually first, I'm going to drop my pasta in underneath, and I'm going to create what's called a cardinal sin of you're not supposed to cover pasta when you cook it, but because I want the broccoli to continue to steam, I'm going to cover it, and it will just be okay.
Is the chicken going in the sauce or the noodles?
In the sauce, because it's already cooked. So the way we make this weeknight, again, is, you know, you buy the store-bought rotisserie chicken, already cooked. You can buy it hot, you can even buy it cold, because depending on when you decide to make your mac and cheese. So what I've done is I've pulled mostly the meat from the breast and the meat from the thighs off. And then I'm just going to go ahead and drop it in. And you can just start to stir. Good job. All right. Now I am going to drop our broccoli in as well. All right, let me come right here. All right, so now you probably need a spatula so that way you can start actually folding the broccoli in. And let me, yep, put that in there. There's a fun red one. And then you're just gonna kind of start folding the cheese sauce over top of the broccoli, incorporating the chicken, and it's gonna continue to cook while you're doing that. I'm gonna clean up the mess I made with the water. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get a strainer for my pasta. Give your noodles a stir when you drop them into the pot because they have a habit of sticking together. Getting it around there?
Trying to.
All right, we're gonna cook our mac and cheese until al dente, and I'm gonna slowly lower your heat because this is all incorporated now. We don't want it to burn, but we want it to stay warm as we wait for our noodles to cook. And actually, I'm just gonna throw my lid right on top of there. All right, so sit that right in your little spoon holder. There we go. And we'll let that stay warm while we wait for our pasta to cook. You wanna make a smoothie while we wait?
Sure.
Okay. So, for your green machine smoothie, here's what you will need. All right, this is gonna be fun. Spinach, what turns it green. There's also some lime juice. Now, granted, it doesn't change the color, but it does boost the vitamin C content in your smoothie. 1 whole orange, but we're gonna use the juice from it. So I already cut it in half so I can juice it. 1 whole banana. I have about a cup of Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt, and then water to essentially kind of loosen up our smoothie some. Mm-hmm. You could add ice. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot one ingredient in the freezer. Frozen pineapple.
Oh yeah.
I forgot all about it because we want it to essentially be cold. The beauty of the frozen pineapple is that it acts like your ice without watering it down. So when you are using greens in your smoothie, this is my own personal trick. Blend your greens and your liquid first before you add your fruit. Why? Because you don't want little pieces of spinach, little pieces of kale in your smoothie. It changes the consistency and the texture.
It makes it like a lot smoother.
It does. So essentially we're gonna kind of like liquefy the spinach so you get all of the benefits, but That is really a green juice. You want to drink this?
No.
I mean, spinach tastes good. That's fun. Okay. So you can see now there's no more like pieces of actual spinach, which is good. All right, so now we're going to add in our 1 whole banana. You could use frozen banana as well, but that's just a fresh banana because that's just what I had. The cup of Greek yogurt. This adds your protein. You could also add, if you have a unflavored or like vanilla flavored protein powder, you could use that instead. But Mia likes Greek yogurt, so we will just add Greek yogurt in. Now, give me your hand.
My hand?
Place it over top of here. Close your fingers together. Nope, not that way, like this.
Oh.
I'm gonna squeeze the juice of the orange into your hand, but so that way we don't get any seeds. Does that feel weird?
Yeah, it's like...
This is a very juicy orange. I love summer fruit because it's kind of like just at its peak.
Are my hands gonna be sticky?
You can wash them. You have a towel. I'll give you a towel. Clean them in a second. But, yep. See? Oh, you're like leaning on the blender. So we're just adding more vitamin C, more nutrients to our smoothie. I'm gonna eat that. So good. Let me get your towel. There you go, my dear. Now your hand smells like
They
orange.
smell good.
Yeah, right? Okay. Lastly, lime juice and frozen pineapple to really kind of up our nutrient content. Trying to make it a really green machine smoothie. About a half a cup of frozen pineapple. There we go. You throw that back in the freezer?
Yes.
Thank you. And then let me just slice our lime. Will you do me a favor though? What do I do with limes?
Roll them.
Yep, will you roll it for me? Thank you very much. While you're rolling, I'm going to go ahead and blend this up the rest of the way. Oh, yes. You can see the yogurt's already starting to incorporate. You've got the pineapple blending, the banana. Is it so good? Is it loose? Is it soft?
Feels soft.
All right. We will just cut the lime and squeeze it in. Again, adding a little bit more citrus flavor. All right, now limes don't have seeds, so these you don't really have to squeeze over your hand. The trick is just not to drop it in. You want to squeeze one? Use your muscles?
Sure.
There you go. Do this together. Squeeze! I have more muscles than you.
No, you don't.
You're right. That's fair. All right, drop those in the sink. All right, here we go. Last little bit. Smoothies are an easy way to really kind of pack in protein, pack in vegetables, pack in, kind of all of the nutrients in a drink. Okay. Let's get us some fun cups. Unless you want fancy ones.
Those are fine.
And we'll just pour. Ooh, look at that green machine. You're a swim machine, a track machine, a running machine. So this is perfect. Cheers. That's good. You taste the orange, you taste the lime, you taste the pineapple. The banana makes it creamy with the Greek yogurt. But the beauty is that You have all the, yours is almost gone.
Oops.
But it's so good. So, I mean, you're getting all of those same properties from the spinach, from the citrus fruit. It's so good. I love a smoothie, especially in the summertime. They're so refreshing. All right, let's check on our pasta.
That was really good.
All right, now, do you know how you can tell if pasta's done?
If they start floating?
No, but that's good.
Just a wild guess.
One, you could taste it. Two, you throw it at a wall, see if it makes it stick. Really works with like longer pasta and spaghetti noodles, but harder to do with macaroni noodles. Are good to go. Okay.
Should I turn it down?
You can just turn it off. Just hit off right in the middle. Hit it harder. There you go. Okay. Are you ready to fold in your macaroni noodles?
Yes.
Now, the reason why I love this pot, I mean, it's simple, because you don't have to drain it. You just literally lift it up out of the pot and it drains itself. Look at all the steam. Facial. Broke girl facial. Broke mom facial. All my money goes to you kids. All right. You ready? I'm going to dump in a little bit, and then I want you to stir. Uh-oh, we're spilling water.
Ooh.
It's all right.
You did not drain that well. Well, you did what you could.
I did what I could, but I can clean it up. So go ahead and just fold it in. Boom, boom, boom. Good. Need help?
Yes.
Okay. Get around to the sides. There you go. Because a lot of times your sauce lingers on the side when you have extra ingredients in here. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit more, the rest of it. Because, again, I mean, it depends how much macaroni noodles you like, but we're a big family, and we're also going to share with our crew. And there's a lot of them. So we're going to feed everybody today. So we need all that we can get. Shake off the rest of the water since you just talked about me. Oops. All right. Oh, I still got noodles in there. You keep going.
It's a lot of noodles.
It's a lot of mac and cheese. Chicken and broccoli mac and cheese, to be exact. Man, we threw noodles everywhere. Sheesh, squeeze. Did a terrible job jumping this. Now, Mia, what's your favorite thing to do right now in summer? Let's trade spots.
Summer, probably go to the beach.
You like going to the beach? Well, we've got a couple of beach trips planned this summer, which is nice. But right now, you're right in the heart of summer swim. How's that going for you? You like it?
It's going well.
Do you like summer swim over winter swim?
Definitely.
What's the difference? So for our health and self family at home, you know, they may not, all they know is maybe it's just competitive swim. They may not know there's a really a real difference.
Well,
What's the difference to you?
Both winter and summer are fun, but like summer is just like more like exciting, I guess, and it's less competitive. It's more just like to focus on your technique without having to worry about like super, super big meets each weekend, whenever our meets are a lot smaller. So.
Because a lot of times in summer, we're swimming against just one other team. And in winter, you're swimming against swimmers across like our region, a lot of times in our USA swim meets. So that's fair. That's fair. Have you been running much?
Trying to, especially when it's been like 100 degrees outside. But
I know, it's tough. It's tough. All right, so are you ready to eat? Did you finish your smoothie? You did. You put your glass in the sink. You know, those are your dishes. You know.
Oh.
She's our dishwasher. Both big girls are the dishwasher. All right, let me get us some plates so we can eat. So we can eat, and then you can get ready for a swim meet. All right, we'll use the spoon from the macaroni just because it's a little bit bigger. All right, so remember we did the store-bought rotisserie chicken because it was already cooked. We steamed the broccoli ahead of time, and then you've got the macaroni, the cheddar cheese, the oat milk. And we made that roux with the whole wheat flour and the butter. You need a fork. They're on the other side of me in the drawer, right over here underneath the blender. I scooped yours up all pretty and mine I just plop on the plate?
I don't know.
All right. Ready to dig in?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for getting me a fork.
You're welcome.
I love this because it's the perfect, like, one-stop shop dish. You've got your vegetables. Broccoli is going to give you calcium, fiber, folate, good vitamins, protein from the chicken, easy peasy. And then, of course, you've got the macaroni. Now, if you want to make this completely vegetarian, omit the chicken. If you want to make this more vegan friendly, continue with the oat milk. Use a plant-based butter. And then also, you would use a rice-based cheese, which still melts beautifully. Slow down, bud. Mia's also the fastest eater in our family. But where does it go? Where does it go? So you've got a lot of nutrition here today. Did you know that? Would you like more smoothie?
Yes, please.
Let me get you some more. Just bless your heart. Man, she killed that, didn't she? I'll pour you a little bit more. The cool thing, Mia, is I love making smoothies. I mean, you can really mix and match. You know, if we would have just subbed out the pineapple and maybe did like a frozen mango, that would have changed the flavor profile completely. You could also add strawberries. You could add really anything. Good? And again in here, vitamins. So much fiber, and then the protein from the Greek yogurt. And if you don't like Greek yogurt, you can certainly put in a protein powder if you'd like instead. Well, Mia, it's National Smoothie Day, so we have our smoothies. You have your lunch. You're ready for your swim meet tonight. What do you think?
It's good.
Do you think this is something you could make for your sisters one day, like if I'm not home?
Probably.
I think so. You're a whiz at making grilled cheese and you're a whiz at making mac and cheese, so I think you could kind of handle putting a little broccoli and a little chicken in there for everybody. Yeah? Okay. Well, good. Well, so for more recipes like this, check out selfsoulspace.com. You can find easy weeknight recipes, breakfast ideas, snack ideas. Mia's also my snacker, so I have more smoothie ideas on there as well for you to try. And for now, Mia and I, my tallest Thayer girl, I'll stand next to you so you can really see how much taller she is. We wish you the absolute best. Happy Tuesday, and we'll see you next week right here on Health and Self.